Howdy, Kathleen here again, the Countertop Diva. In this video, we're going to speed through the material that we're going to cover in a lot more depth later in this series on Google Calendar for Countertop Fabricators. So let's jump right in because I promised to go quickly. So let's say you want to add an event. You click on your calendar where you think you want the event and then just start typing. Let's see, I need to remember to make a quote for Elise before I leave today. Click save. There, I've recorded it. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Maybe later I notice, oh, that actually wasn't the right time. I need to get it to her by 5. I can drag and drop and move it up. Maybe I want to color it, just one event so that it stands out so that I just don't trust myself not to leave. I can open that event and click the pencil to edit it and then come down to the color and I'm going to make it bright blue so that I see it and I don't leave the office until I get that quote to Elise. So that's coloring just one event, but you'll notice I have a lot of colored events on my calendar and it would be kind of annoying if I had to open each one and change the color. But actually, what you're looking at here are colored sub calendars. So over here on the left, you see a list of my sub calendars. And as an example, I have an install calendar where all the events are red. So all these red events you see here are all part of my install calendar. I can then toggle that calendar on and off. So that ends up being super useful. If I want to zoom right in and look only at my installs and not at my templates or my other things, I can uncheck things and okay, there, now I have a really clear look at my install calendar. You'll notice some of the events are sort of pale. I've set my settings so that events in the past dim and then events in the future are bright. I can just toggle those back on to view my full calendar. And again, you can just see that makes it really useful to see my whole life in one screen. So I can see that I had to take the dog to the vet or my kid has a cross country meet and I can schedule around those things. But it also allows me to share a calendar with my team without sharing the fact that I have to take the dog to the vet and my kid has a cross country meet because I can share just a sub calendar. So my install team gets to see the install calendar. They don't have to see everything else. And that also means they can view that calendar on their own Google account with their own personal items. And again, get a clearer view of what's going on in their life and it make it a lot easier not to miss an appointment, but to also plan accordingly. Now, I've shown you how to add an event from right here in Google Calendar, but I also want to pop over to my speed folder to show you how easy it is and how cool it is when you start from speed folder and then send events to your Google Calendar. So here I've created a Harris kitchen job. I've already added some details about the kitchen itself. I've added a template date and an install date. Now I'm going to add this template to my Google Calendar. I click add to calendar. It opens up my Google Calendar. It has all the details already there. I can just add a duration. Maybe I want it to be just an hour, or no, I'm going to set an hour and a half. And instead of saving it by default right now, it's looking at my personal calendar, but I'm going to save it to my template calendar, click save, and boom, I'm done. And there's the Harris kitchen template. And when I click on it, sure enough, all those details are right there, including a phone number. If I'm, open it on my phone, I can just dial right from there. Very cool, and all the details I may need, as well as the address, all right there. So I just think that's a super useful way to integrate with the calendar. Now, I've mentioned that, we have these sub calendars. How do you go about creating a calendar? Really easy. Just come down here where it says other calendars, click plus, and you can just create a new calendar, or you could browse calendars and add a calendar. Sure enough, you'll notice down here I've browsed and added my Texas A&M football calendar. I can stay on top of all Aggie football. Now, you might think, well, wait a second. This is October. I don't see an Aggie football game. They're probably playing, right? In the upper right-hand corner, you can change the view. You'll notice right now, I'm only looking Monday through Friday, but I can click on that. And sure enough, I'm not looking at weekends. I can just click that, show weekends, and there's my Aggie football game right there on my calendar. And I was just able to subscribe to that calendar. I didn't have to add all those in myself. So that's just a fun thing. And again, it just helps you manage your whole life. I'm going to uncheck show weekends and I'm back focused in on work. Now, I also hinted that you can share calendars. If you come over again to your sub calendars and click the three dots next to one of those calendars, you're going to get a number of options, including settings and sharing. And from there, you'll see you can just email someone and invite them to view that calendar. But what if you just have a specific event? You can share just one event also. Over here, I have my weekly finance review. If I open that up, another really useful feature, you can set up a recurring event. So I don't have to go in and add that every week. I've just made it recurring every Friday. And I've also invited, you can invite your accountant, or maybe you have a staff meeting. You can invite your staff to come to the meeting every time so they have it on their calendar. Those recurring events are also useful for things like maintenance on your machine or on a vehicle. Now, the last thing that makes Google Calendar so powerful is the way it integrates with your phone. So I'm going to stop here and then restart on my phone to show you that. Hold on for 1 sec.
All right, so here we are looking at the same calendar, but now it's on my phone. So you'll see red installs, green templates, the orange are still my personal events. There's that blue quote for a lease that we created. And just as before, I can click on any one event. I'll open the Esposito Kitchen install, and there are all the details wherever I am. I have everything I need. I could click on the phone number, and because I'm on my phone, it will dial that number, or I can send the person a text. If I want to see the address and maybe use Google Maps, I just click on the address. Again, it takes me right there, and I can jump back into my calendar event and close it out. Now, if again, I don't want to see quite everything, you still can toggle calendars on and off by clicking the little sandwich menu on the left. I'm going to uncheck my templates and just look at my installs. That lets me maybe zoom in a little clearer. There's my Aggie football games there. And also, just like before, if I open up an event, I can even jump into Speed folder by clicking the job name. And that's going to open, if I tell it to, right into that particular job in Speed folder. So I can even make edits or change some things there. I'm going to go into my list of jobs in Speed folder on my phone. And I'm going to open up the Harris Kitchen job. We had already added the template to my calendar, but you can also add events to your calendar right from your phone. I'm going to click Add to Calendar for the install. And I'm going to make sure I add it to my Countertop Diva template. Oops, no, not template calendar, install calendar. And I might also set a duration. I'm going to say, let's have it go until 2:30 p.m. and click Save. And now it will be added to my calendar. So that's just, again, a very quick overview with hopefully some useful information on how to navigate Speed folder and Google Calendar, using it specifically for countertop fabricators to see everything at a much more sane pace and in much more detail. Keep watching this series.